Snow fell heavily on Christmas Eve as Carter Blake locked up the garage for the night. 34 years old with dark hair and grease-stained hands wore his Navy mechanic's coveralls and a worn jacket. Another long day at Blake's auto repair family business. His father had started 40 years ago business that barely stayed afloat anymore. Carter was exhausted bit as he turned off the lights. He noticed something on the workbench, a small wrapped pack. A Geff picked it up, read the tag for Emmer. Do not forget Carter's stomach droppers. Hart Welsh had brought her car in that morning for an oil change. Mentioned her daughter's birthday was today. Asked if Carter hold onto the present because it was a surprise. He had completely forgotten to give it back when she picked up her car. Carter pulled out his phone, called the number on the work order. No answer. Tried again. Voice email Mrs. Hartwell. This is Carter from the garage. He said, I still have Emma's gift. I am so sorry. I can bring it by if you leave your address. 2 minutes later, a text came through, an address across town and a message. Please, if you can. She will be heartbroken. Without it, Carter looked outside. It snow was coming down. Hard roads were getting dangerous. For a smart person was home by no should wait until morning. But he thought about a little girl waking up on her birthday without her gift, about a mother who trusted him, who grabbed his keys. Drive took 40 minutes instead of 15. Roads were slick, visibility poor, but Carter pushed through. Finally, he pulled up to a modest apartment building. Checked the address, Unit 3B. He climbed the stairs, knocked on the door. A woman answered, late 20s, with blonde hair and striking features, wore a red dress like she had been at a party, a black coat draped over her shoulders. Can I help you? She asked. Her voice was culture-driven. I am looking for Mrs. Hartwell. Carter said, I am Elena Hartwell. Carter held up the package. You left this at my garage for Emma's birthday. Elena's hand flew to her mouth. Oh my God, I have been searching everywhere. I thought I lost it. She took the package. You drove all the way here in this storm. I promised to hold onto it, Carter said. Simply promises matter. Elena stared at him. Come inside, please. You must be freezing. Carter started to decline, but Elena insisted. Inside, the apartment was small but warm. A Christmas tree in the corner, decorations handmade with love. A little girl around 5 years old sat on the couch, had blonde hair like her mother, Emma. Elena said, look who brought your special gift. Emma's eyes lit up. She ran to her mother. Really? Elena Sage handed Emma the package. The little girl tore it open. Inside was a small jewelry box. Music hall. When she opened it, a tiny ballerina spoon. Emma gasped. It was my mother's, Elena said softly. My grandmother gave it to her and now it is yours. Emma hugged the box, then surprised Carter by hugging him to thank you, mister. You are welcome. Carter said, his throat tight. After Emma went to play with her gift, Elena made Carter coffee. I cannot believe you drove through that storm, she said. For a music box, for a promise, Carter corrected. There is a difference. Elena studied him. What kind of mechanic are you? The broke kind, Carter said with a slight smile. Business has been slow, but I do good work. I can see that, Elena replied. They talked for over an hour. Carter learned that Elena was a single mother. His father had left when she was pregnant. Elena had worked her way through business school, just accepted a new job. CEO of Hartwell Industries, a company she inherited from her late father. I start in 2 weeks, she said. I am terrified. Why? Because everyone expects me to fail, Elena admitted. They see a young single mother. They think I cannot handle it. Can you? Carter is scared. Not challenging, just curious. Yes, Elena said with certainty. I know that business inside and out. Then prove them wrong, Carter said. Show them what you were made of. Elena smiled. You are very wise for a mechanic. My dad taught me, Carter replied. He always said character matters more than credentials. As the storm continued, Carter realized he could not drive home safely. Elena offered her couch. I cannot, Carter protested. Yes, you can, Elena insisted. You risked your life to deliver a music box. The least I can do is give you a place to sleep. Christmas morning, Carter woke to Emma's excited squeal. She was opening presents. One hand made things, but she treated each like treasure. Breakfast, Elena Kalage had made pancakes. The three of them ate together like a family. Carter felt something he had not felt in years. After breakfast, as the snow cleared, Carter prepared to leave. Thank you, Elena said, for everything. It was nothing. It was not nothing, Elena replied. She handed him a card. My personal number. Call me when you get home safe. So I know you made it, Carter did Callan. They talked for an hour, then the next day, and the next weeks later Elena started her new position at Hartwell Industriish was brilliant anticivivry her father had hoped, but she kept thinking about. The mechanic who drove through a storm kept promises shows her as a person, not a soon month after Christmas Elena's car broke down. She called Carter. Can you help always? He came to her office, fixed the issue he was leaving. Elena stopped him. Carter, she said, would you like to have dinner with me and Emma as friends? Or Carter started as more than friends. Elena interrupted. If you want, Carter smiled. I want. They dated quietly. Elena did not want press attention. Carter did not care about her money. He just cared about her, about Emma, about building something real. 6 months later, Elena made a decision. She walked into Blake's auto repair. Carter, I have a proposition, okay? Hartwell Industries needs a facilities director, she said. Someone to oversee our fleet of vehicles. Someone I trust. She looked at him. The job is yours if you want it. Elena, I am just a mechanic. You are a man who keeps promises, she corrected. Who drives through snowstorms for a child's gift, who sees people, not positions. That is what I need. Carter took the job. He kept the garage toured, staff modernized. It made it profitable. Aganon year after that, Christmas Eve, Carter proposed, not with a grand gesture, but in Elena's apartment where they had first really talk. A demo was there. She handed Carter the ring. Will you marry my mom? Emma asked seriously, and be my dad? Elena laughed through tears. She insisted on asking. Then yes, Carter said to Emma, I will marry your mom, and yes, I will be your dad. At their wedding, Carter gave a toast. 2 years ago, I forgot to give a customer her daughter's birthday gift. He said, I should have waited until morning, let her pick it up the next day. But I made a promise. He looked at Elena, so I drove through the worst storm of the year, knocked on a stranger's door, and met my future wife. His voice broke. Elena, you taught me that keeping small promises leads to big blessings, that doing the right thing matters, that who you are when no one is watching defines who you become. He raised his glass. Thank you for answering the door, for seeing a mechanic covered in snow, and inviting him, for choosing character over credentials, for loving me. Elena stood when Carter showed up at my door. She said I had just become CEO. I was drowning in pressure and doubt. Then this man appeared who drove through a blizzard for a music box, who kept a promise to a stranger, who did not care about my title or money, just about doing what he said he would. She looked at her husband. You reminded me what real success looks like. It is not the corner office. It is keeping your word. It is showing up. It is choosing people over convenience. That is the man I fell in love with. Years later, Emma would tell the story about the mechanic who delivered her music box in a snowstorm, about how that one act of integrity changed 3 lives. Daddy kept a promise to a stranger, she would say, and found his family. That is what real heroes do. Sometimes the smallest promises matter most. Sometimes a delivery in a snowstorm delivers everything, and sometimes the person who shows up when they could have stayed home becomes home. If this story warmed your heart, please like and share it with someone who values integrity and follow through. Subscribe for more stories about keeping promises and finding unexpected love. Comment and tell us about a time when someone went out of their way to keep their word to you. Your story might inspire someone to honor their commitments today.